So here we go. Another day, another break. I don't know what time it is. I think it's 11. My day always starts 5:15, and between 11 and 2 is usually my break time, where I'm cleaning up my brain and reset for the next sessions, developing work structures of automation and increase sales and get attention to products and services that I don't provide. Some I do, but the thing is that requires specific amounts. But anyway, we're not getting into this. Now walking to the calisthenics spot here in Knyazevo, Sofia, Bulgaria. And the reason that I want to go to this spot now is simply the mineral water, and over here there is one calisthenics spot, or actually two. In Knyazevo, Sofia, Bulgaria, there are two over there. And the thing is, over there I can be alone with my thoughts and just focus on the daily regime and talking with you, and perhaps share here and there some pointers that I think that made a big difference in my life. I'm 47, doing everything from the phone, lost a couple of times pretty much everything in my life. But the thing is, like I always say now at 47, you never own anything in the first place. So you're born naked and you're gonna die naked. Nothing. You're not gonna take anything into the grave. And in the meantime, when you lose a couple of times everything, pretty much everybody's dead and gone, you realize one thing: it doesn't matter what you show other people. The only thing that I believe in is, at the moment, I can share the reality extracted from my experiences, how to live a life of freedom, discipline, get ripped mentally and physically, and that's it. And if a couple of guys and girls get in shape and start earning a life of freedom, and that doesn't mean becoming self-employed, get yourself some messed up office or a retail store and then label yourself as a business owner, because that is, according to the traditional thinkers, a business owner. Don't fall for it. Been there, done that, but I did it 20 years ago. So that's the reason I can speak like this. And I did everything all over the top without any boundaries. So let's say I could say at 47 I lived multiple lifetimes. That sounds like you're bragging, Dylan. No, trust me, no. I caused myself more unnecessary heartbreak and any kind of thing that a pure person could be emotional attached to, because I never had boundaries. So trust me, when I mention my failures, it's far away from bragging. And like always, I never choose the victim position. That means I never share anything so I can get more views and or sympathy from the audience, like most influencers like to do. You know, I talked about this. You know, those idiots in suits talk about acting like a stoic idiot at 25 and then cry his eyes out live on the video, you know, just to get more viewers. I don't understand this. And I think if you ripple effect weakness in the world and then tell the world to be stoic, I think that is the most ridiculous thing you can do. And I think it's very irresponsible, especially, or irresponsible, I don't know how to pronounce the word. The thing is, I'm not like this. My vlogs are raw, real, unedited, and just going always forward. Never dwell and swell and wipe and whine about the past. I'm just sharing experiences. So for those people who actually consider to do something more than their regular mind-numbing job or going to school now at the moment. I checked the okay, I'm also uploading videos on other platforms, and I got other channels, but the thing is I had to think a little bit. So when it's about the age range, also noticed that the age range between 18 and 24 is a little bit increasing, so I start to speak a little bit maybe also more to the school going people. Start questioning those people who grab a couple of books and tell you things about the book that you have to memorize. Those things you have to memorize. You become a professional memorizer. Totally, in my opinion, the biggest BS in history of human. When I went to school, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my school experience, I never saw the whole purpose of it. Also for multiple reasons. But the main reason, you know, and especially when it was in the economy classes, or I don't know how to say it, they had a very specific name for it in Dutch. When I think about my time at school, it is the most ridiculous system ever. But I found a little bit a so-called loophole. But anyway, we're not getting into this one. So I didn't do it totally for nothing. But the thing is, what a BS. You know, there was, let's call it business class, and a guy arrives on his bicycle and Jesus sandals and fluffy hair, and there's not a single muscle on the bone. With all the respect, that doesn't really, you know, express some sort of progress in business. And I remember he also talked about hey, you had to do multiple things like accountant, doing your own accountancy work. The thing is, trust me, once you get the things rolling, you get an accountant. So that was one of those things that made me totally fed up with it. Not only this, also the fact that you had to read books, you know, books about dumbass stories, and then you had to explain what is the plot and all plot twist. Totally I remember you had to do it. And at one point, I also failed multiple years the classes, and then at one point you get into some kind of special class for so-called difficult children. I remember the first day over there, one of those idiots was a so-called self-depressed idiot. He was totally addicted to substances, and he that was actually a funny moment. Had the teachers also on that school total, I don't know what, the one of the teachers also banged one of the students. I thought that was always very interesting. And then one of the lunatics from our class, and also me, we also used boatloads of stuff because, yeah, we were totally bored out of our minds. But the thing is, one guy stood in the window on the 3rd floor and said, "I'm gonna jump." And then I remember the teacher guy, you know, he's supposed to be a teacher for, let's say, call difficult children, almost cried his eyes out and fell on the floor. He had simply a nervous breakdown. The thing is, it's not to disrespect anybody, but, you know, don't choose some sort of line of work if you're not ready to go all in. And that is in general always my message, right? If you do something, do it all the way, and not just for chasing money. And it's the work structures that I'm sharing with people and everything. It's work structures. I don't never mention strategies, because strategies that hypes normal people up. Oh yeah, I also want to do that. Oh, I also want to earn a little bit money. The work structures, day 1, day 2, day 3, till the day you're fucking dead. And that is what the stuff that scares people, and the people who chasing the quick fixes, the traders, people who like to go into trading, because then you don't have to interact with people, only have a little bit so-called nerves of steel. But the thing is, of course, I know some people that are very successful in it, but the thing is, do they have human skills? No, not really. Do they have a very solid circle of people around them? No, not really. Do they have solid relationships with the spouses? No, not really. So where is, where is the balance? I prefer, let's say, be in shape mentally, physically, have rock solid small circles of people with big circles in general. They have totally willy-vanilly relationships. I know, I've seen it in different levels of society, and not only this, everybody understands that you cannot give everybody enough let's say attention. I actually took food with me for this kitty catty, so let's put the camera somewhere, and while I'm gonna feed the cat, come, yeah, I have to put the thing on the stative. I got food. Come, let's eat together. Come. 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 Don't run away. I'm not gonna open the package. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come. Oh, yummy. Can we see it? Yeah. Hey. Long time no see. Yippee! Woohoo! Okay. I only have one. Next time I will bring more. Didn't expect you to be here at the moment. The last time I saw your buddy, the redhead, with all the respect to the redheads, but you're black. I can say the word black, right? On video. And these days people are so sensitive, you never know. Black, redhead, brown face, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Just eat. Just eat. Oh, it's actually nice, eh? Little breakfast at 11 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. Well, nice kitty catty. This one is finished, but this one is over here. Look, finish your plate. No, he's not cold. He's a very warm, furry coat. Okay. Hey, don't smear it in your fur or hair. Look, finish it. Look. Come on, you can do it. Do it. Okay, now finish the food. Come on. Oh, you're not so hungry, huh? You also look way too healthy for a street cat. That's why you're not so hungry. Still finish it. Okay. Now, it was breakfast time. I had to take a little bit more, but it's for the next time. Maybe the next time his buddy will be over there as well. But like I said, this cat doesn't look like a street cat. Enough meat on the bone. Anyway, where were we? School. I was talking about school. Yeah, you know, of course it's nice that you have some sort of I don't know what, some network building opportunities, but in general I'm not in contact with anybody from that period in Holland. Phew, no. Anyway, I'm gonna get into the training. I saw that somebody's over there, so we need to go to another calisthenic spot, or just wait a little bit. I'm just gonna walk around, show you a little bit the environment. Probably after a few months everything is gonna be way much greener. By the way, the temperature at the moment is still good. I checked the weather and it said some snowy things are coming up, but yeah, it's the way it is. And like I always say, you know, the daily regime doesn't matter what weather it is. Also when it's about the running, we just do it every single day. Just do it. And I'm saying this to the people that actually want to do something with their lives. That means providing value, not had to live as a selfish little prick. And I'm saying this with the most respect, in the most respectful way, but realistic, because if you only serve yourself, you never will feel fulfilled. And I think in the end that's the most important thing. You can fill up your pockets with a lot of money, buy a lot of cars, have a lot of stuff. Trust me, been there, done that. The thing is, doesn't bring anything to the table except a lot of jealousy and you know, yeah, it's true. Not only jealousy, also adversity that you don't see. Trust me, been there, done that. That's also one of the reasons that I lost in the first place everything. But like I said in the beginning of this vlog, hey, the guy went away, so that's a good thing. So I'm gonna cut this vlog of this live stream, and then I'm gonna hang my camera. No, I'm gonna use the Samsung S23, my hyper modern phone. By the way, when it's about the Samsung thing, I said this multiple times in my vlogs, you know, I'm not chasing the latest tech and all that bullshit. The thing is, well, the thing about the Samsung phones, especially the ones that after S20, I think, not 100% sure, like I said, I'm not into the tech thing, they have this so-called Samsung DeX option. Just Google it, Samsung DeX. And DeX means the moment that you attach your phone to the smart TV, or in my case I got a portable screen, which is also possible to power with an external battery, you simply have a desktop environment all of a sudden. It's like you running around with a computer, which means you can delete your laptop and your massive desktop computer that you use for all kind of nice RPG playing games and get in touch with all kind of cosplaying people. But the thing is, in my case, we don't use devices for entertainment, we use it for growth, speed up the whole process, automated processes and communication. Like I always say, I'm from the time that we had to make a phone call like, and then you touched wrong one. And by the way, when it's about phone numbers, we always remember them. It's another thing. And there's another thing about those times, people were actually on time. You know, people respected each other's time. And not only this, when you focus on one time, an appointment, and then you have to be there, that means also people are a little bit more focused on you, on the topic at hand. But this is another thing where I always say, people who sit around me with their phones, they're already, you know, I'm not paying attention to those people anymore. But now my levels of boundaries and filters are way much higher, so I'm not getting into those situations anymore, and we simply skip that kind of situations. I think last year I had one person playing with her phone, it was a C, and I said, I'm going, you can play with somebody else around them with the phones, because I think that's disrespect. But yeah, I'm an old school guy, you know, you bring value to the table, a little bit entertainment and perhaps a little bit guidance in life, and that's what I'm doing. And the thing is, when people waste my time, you know, Instagramming and all that kind of stuff while they're around me, or I also wouldn't do the same. You know, the thing is, when it's about my trusted people, when we sit together, we have conversations, and it's not like that we complain about governmental stuff and all that bullshit. No, we talk about real stuff, life. Not only this, how to overcome specific obstacles, and not the ones that I multiple times mentioned, you know, that the batteries of the remote control are empty, or that horrible Netflix series. No, we talk about real stuff, things that actually provide value to the people around them and around me and the projects that I'm involved in. You know, we talk about stuff that matters to us and other people positively. You know, we influence other people, their lives, not like let's say slaving our life away and then complain about everything, how bad everything is. I think you should really appreciate every single second that you can breathe. Use your lungs. A lot of people underestimate the fact that you can use your lungs, because I have seen it. People end up dead, and when you're on your dying bed from smoking cigarettes, well, you beg for a little bit more oxygen. And I always keep this in mind, that, you know, the moment that, you know, in my case with my adoption mother, when she died a long time ago, they cut off a piece of her lung, and still once in a while she smoked a cigarette at one point. So, you know, so-called an addiction. The thing is, I'm not talking bad about her, I'm just sharing with you guys that I know. I have seen it. People begging for more seconds, more minutes, more days, a little bit more weeks. And not only this, the moment that you're dying, your brain also starts to give up. And that is a very sad thing to see. And you don't want to be in that position, you know, when it's not your time yet. You know, you can speed up the process by you know, sitting down on the couch, eating from your nose, discussing the latest Netflix series, eating Cheetos, and giggle about how nice life is and that your ex-boyfriend treated you so bad. Yeah, well, there's for everything a reason. Or your ex-girlfriend or whatever. By the way, when it's about, and I had a thought about this, from all my, and I'm gonna think about my words, yeah, I can say 100% of my female contacts never ever mentioned the word about a single word about their ex. From the man contacts, and this is not from my trusted circle, because those people have balls, but the outside, at least 70% of the men, they longing back to one or two of their exes, and they're very expressive about it. And the thing is, they don't know me that well, and still they pour out their weak hearts. And I think it's very weak. And it's not only this, it's also for me, I sometimes avoid specific areas when I know this person is training over there, because I don't want to listen constantly to the same thing. Then he did this, then he reached out to his ex, then he did this. That is all great, but don't share it with you know, when it's about sharing negativity, you know, without having some sort of positive outcome for the person who listens to it, you know, then don't. What is the purpose of it? So you ripple effect your negativity in the world, and then you go to the next one, so you spread the negative news. Because to multiple people, they know, they don't come up with constantly the same bullshit. You can discuss problems one time, next time you're gonna mention a couple of solutions. If you don't, then I'm also not interested. You're not willing to solve it anyways, and then you're simply looking for an emotional garbage can. And I know from a conversation that I had 2 days ago, actually a very strong woman and a lot of her friends, they dump a lot of negativity into her, and she actually talked to me about it. And the thing is, I said, don't allow yourself that people use you as a mental garbage place, because that's all fun, and like a garbage can. So this person pops up, and maybe it's also you, you know, that you go somewhere sometimes or many times to specific circles, and all of a sudden they can pour their heart out, and then it makes you feel you know, special because they feel trusted with you. No, they do this with everybody, and they need to get rid of the negative thing and they go to the next one. They're simply people who want to spread the negative news, and I think you should set the boundaries, because if you constantly get filled up and your brain gets constantly filled up with negativity and not solutions, yes, there are problems that need multiple times attention, maybe 1,000 times, you know, but the solutions, if they're never discussed, then it's an end of the road. Or if there is not any kind of effort involved, right? You just write down the possible solution and then you put them in a priority list and you go through them. Bam, bam, action, 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 action. You can wait till tomorrow or the day after, and before you know, it grew to one big giant that lives in your head and that constantly needs to be spread around the world. Anyway, I want to get into my training session. Like always, you know, it's the 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, 1 time. Deep dip plus knee raises, pull up plus knee raises, hanging knee raises with my arms bended over the parallel bars, or I'm doing the hanging knee raises. Why, Alan? Great question. I'm gonna answer it straight away. Depends on the amount of pain. So for example, now today, my back, and I'm not talking about my spine, I'm talking about the muscles in it. The thing is, I'm doing today with the bended arms over the thing. I will start up later on another live stream, maybe to share some other thoughts, because you know what, keeps on stacking, keeps on stacking. I don't have the millions of followers yet, subscribers yet, but the thing is, views are dripping in and it keeps on stacking. You know, the archive of freaking videos, they keep on stacking, more, thousands of videos. And before you know, after a few decades, or maybe let's say few decades, you know, I'm on my dying moments, and it's gonna be my last live stream, then I would say ciao for now. And the thing is, when I'm going off this planet, I will give my chat that has more than 2.1 terabyte of, you know, work structures and all kind of experiences. It's available, so you can talk with me even when I'm dead. When I'm dead, I got way much more information available. But anyway, let's don't focus on the death part anymore. Let's get to work so we live a little bit longer. And not only this, I also believe in this thing. When you put in the work every single day, you build character, you know, you're a little bit more energetic and maybe even more fulfilled. 3 things, those 3 things I think are very important to keep your energy level high. You know, and trust me, is this always a fun thing to do? No. At least this week, oh no, it's in the beginning of the week. Yeah, yesterday was a horrible day. Physical wise, I had to really push it through. Why? Great question. Again, I'm gonna answer it. The thing is, on Sundays I always have the Sunday slaughter day, which means 10 or 15 kilometer run in combination with 4 to 5 calisthenic spots, where I simply go, you know, till nothing works anymore. That fingers sometimes cramp like this, you know. And then on Monday, yeah, I'm always a little bit you know, a little bit stiff. And then still doing the daily routine. Today the daily routine, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and again, just keep on going. So at one point, since I live a life of freedom, days don't really matter. The thing is, I'm just mentioning them. So let's say, let's assume you're a normal person, days do matter still. You know, you have maybe a 9-to-5 job, but if you watch my stuff, you maybe figure out how to get rid of it. I'm doing everything from the phone. That's why I also mentioned the Samsung DeX thing. I got only a Samsung S23. Yeah, but you don't have the latest one. That doesn't look very prosperous. You know, I don't give a shit about that. I just look at stuff that works. And if you really think about this, if you look like me, look at things like me at 47, I'm a 47-year-old fat. The thing is, people are dead and gone for a long time. The thing is, I did a lot of things offline, businesses, projects. The thing has been there, done that. I had money counting machines in my stores. Fun, all nice. A lot of people saw it. What does it bring you? Adversity. That's the only thing what it brings, nothing else. So that's another thing. And if I would be in those days like now, and I would show you, oh, now I had a client, I put some money in the money machine. What does that to you? You get a little bit hyped up, a little bit pumped up between your, I don't know what, over here your blood races a little bit. You get our money aroused by the money. That doesn't do anything. I'm showing you reality. Steel. And usually also concrete, rubber. Those are the big tires. You flip the tires, you know, those things matter. Look at this blue bad boy. You know, it doesn't give a shit if you do it or not. Huh? Do you think that this person, this beauty, cares about your actions? The way you do it, the way you do your reps, if you do the reps, yes or not, or you swiping with your dumbass phone, the latest one that you got on some kind of, how do you say this, contract from the phone company, and now you can tell all your friends about how hyper modern you are and how trending you are, and how it goes very well with your latest branded clothes, because that is important. But in the meantime, you are investing in your own slavery. You don't want this. Trust me, when you're on your dying bed, what are you gonna say? I always was wearing the latest fashion, I had the latest phones, I was very trendy. On your stone on the graveyard, or maybe they throw you in the oven. I don't know. Maybe you want to be a pizza when you're dead. You know, they spread you as bacon on the pizza bottom if you like pizzas. Maybe they make a burger. I don't know. But think about this. Is this all to offend people? No. Trust me. You want to start living a life. Just really start digging in your own brain and start thinking, is my spouse treating me like the woman I am, or the girl of the man that I am? You know, do they treat you with respect? The people that are around you, those quote-unquote friends that you have around you, would they jump into the fire for you or whatever? You know, the majority of people never tested their people, and I'm also giving away those tests, but we're not getting into testing now. The thing is, just open your eyes, questioning everything. And again, this morning I saw this testosterone guy. He always talked about ChatGPT prompts. Now he of course he uses his brain. Now yesterday he mentioned the Gemini thing, like I always say, you know, because Google is since the beginning of the internet collecting the data. What do you think? That it gives access to other third-party things? No. All the gems? No. Thing is, do I know 100%? No, because I'm not part of Google. But the thing is, it's just logic thinking. And now you see people who are so-called influencers also changing from ChatGPT to Gemini. Why? Because the small influencers don't have stake in the game. Of course, the guy who speaks with his elbows all the time, yeah, he has stake in the game, and he talks constantly about ChatGPT, because, you know, like this old Jedi guy who talks about that he eats every day McDonald's. Of course, he has stake in the game, so that's normal. But anyway, don't believe everything. And this about this testosterone guy, this morning I saw again an older video that he posted earlier that day, again about ChatGPT. The thing is, well, who are you following? The guy who's following all the trends, wears the latest fashion, brightens his teeth for a couple of €100 in fucking Turkey. You know, I could do the same. Put a needle in my ass and show how pumped up I am for the next 10 years. I don't know, I'm 47. You can look at my Instagram. I start uploading some body shots just to show people that it is possible to look ridiculous at 47 without putting needles in your ass and whitening your teeth up and then act like the weakest man on the planet. We all know those guys, right? And the thing is, the majority of the people in the Western countries, they cry the loudest. And I'm not saying to disrespect those people. I mentioned it before. When I lived in Malta, a lot of UK people, 8 out of 10 drink with them, mental unstable. And of course they have all kind of self-inflicted and self-diagnosed mental diseases. But over here in Sofia, Bulgaria, people have it still common sense. That's why I'm over here. Because in case you wonder, yeah, but I always see you in Sofia, Bulgaria. Why are you not somewhere else? You don't look like a Bulgarian. No, I will never be. I also don't look like a Dutch guy, but I was raised over there. The thing is, and trust me, if you would meet me in real life, you know, I was born in Indonesia. Trust me, I don't have anything in common with those people. I don't belong to any race. I don't belong to any kind of traditions. That's why I am over here to fulfill a purpose, which means setting people free, using their phone. I got nothing else to live for, and I'm willing to die for it. And the thing is, how do you make money though? Well, I develop structures behind the scenes, optimizing copy and etc. But we're not getting into this. I'm just talking about life a little bit more real. You also, if you would look at vlogs, 50 vlogs ago, I speak the same, maybe a little bit more chaotic, but yeah, it's the way it is. Am I ashamed about it? No. Can you point the finger at the screen and say, what an idiot, what an idiot? And I would say, I couldn't agree more. I'm 47, I am an idiot. So what? Yeah, maybe I will print myself out on a poster and hang it above my bed and say idiot of the year. Because tomorrow I will think about myself, what an idiot. Because every day we got 18 hours to perform. You gotta do it. You gotta do it or you don't do it. Like I always say, the steel doesn't care. Nobody cares. Yeah, but my father, my mommy and daddy, they really care because they give me a roof above my head and I have to do what they say. Yeah, no, good for you. But you also have got an own will. An instinct. I always say, people are animals. There's a hunger. And when it's about the hunger for freedom, I talked about this multiple times. When I went last year, one time in the subway, I see the freaking people over there, and the life is out of their eyes. It's a very sad thing, and that's why it motivated me to actually do more and more and more, provide structures, and also do a lot of video calls with people. You know, they call me and they talk about stuff. Yeah, but darling, you said we cannot drop any problems. You can, but I have to see that you're actually willing to solve them. And trust me, people throw real problems. Again, not the little tiny whiny, you know, oh, the batteries from my remote control are empty kind of problems. Real problems. But also some people have a little bit struggle how to find their purpose. I can tell people. But the thing is, I said this many times before, I'm gonna, one part of the deal is of the structure is simply write down for the next 7 days, or if necessary 30 days, every day, everything that you don't want, if you don't know what you want. But of course that sounds very simplistic and everything, and then it's of course boring because you're not getting this instant gratification, and then you're not gonna do it, and you're still gonna mess around for the next 5 years. Yeah, but Alan, I'm only 25. 25? You're 25 and you still mess around that you don't know what you want to do. You're already half dead. Most people actually are. Most people are actually almost half dead. I know 25-year-olds, their hair is already falling out like a priest. You know, of a, how do you call it, a monk. But the thing is, what I also said about, oh yeah, well, when people would know about me from the past, I always shaved my hair off, by the way, but that had also the different reasons. That had also different reasons, and the thing is, we're not getting into this one, but the thing is, come on, you live only once. And I think the more you dance to the melody of other people, you have to go to school, you have to get a mortgage, and then you gotta die as soon as possible, but not before you consume more than 10 or 15 years of medicines. Ole! The thing is, no, but along the way you're already dead. The only thing you need to do is start breathing. That's the whole freaking thing. That's just a trick, just to get you dead as soon as possible, brain dead, so you're not thinking. And then when you're finally exhausted after your day of slavery label, then you're gonna drown in the adventures projected on a square screen. Tick, 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 tick. The adventures of I don't know what. your favorite actor. He's doing the job, he's living the life, and you can just fantasize about it because it sounds so glorious. No, it's not. Because think about what are you gonna put on your stone. You watched all the Netflix series. First of all, I think I did once a research about this. It takes multiple lifetimes if you want to consume all the series. Yeah, but Alan, I'm very specific in what I'm watching. No, you're not. You're just going with the flow, and probably you're just watching everything what your friends consuming. Anyway, try to grab life by the balls, people. You don't want to waste it, and don't take this thing like you know, the excuse of, yeah, but I'm very young. What is young? You 6 years? Yeah, okay. But anyway, when I was 7, we already had to bash people in their faces just to keep the pillow at night on our bed for a couple of weeks, by the way. But again, we're not getting into this. Who gives a rat's ass? I'm just giving people a piece of advice, trying to maybe awaken a couple of souls over there on the planet that say, you wake up, you know, sweaty, like in those movies that you're watching, you sweat and you swing your hair around like a movie star, and you say, God damn it, maybe I do want to live a life. Maybe. But why not try something? You know, why not try this 1 minute exercise, this 13-step 1 minute exercise? It took me multiple years to develop this thing. You train your whole freaking body. Anyway, let's get into it, because my fingers getting a little bit cold. Maybe I will turn on the camera later on again, but first I want to be with me, myself and I. Selfish. No, I'm not selfish, because this is what I think. If I cannot provide the energy to provide people with value, a little bit of entertainment, a little bit here and there, go left and right, maybe you arrive faster where you want to be in life. You know, if I don't have put in the work daily, I cannot do it. So, how selfish am I? I don't know. Everybody's always a little bit selfish. And when it's about being selfish, do something selfish is one of my recommendations. In a way that actually also other people get positively affected by you. Simply giving how do you say this? Compliments. Start. Just try it, you know. Nobody ever went to jail for giving too many compliments, and you know what, do it for selfish reasons, you know. Get this confidence. Yeah, but I tried a couple times, they didn't react the way I wanted. No, of course not, because you don't have the tonality, you don't have the right body language. It seems that you want something. You need to get rid of this. Do things without any expectation. Never ever consider even the fact that you get anything back on your efforts. Start serving the planet with your great value. You got value. A lot of people, let's say it like this, more than 80% that I'm talking with, they do have boatloads of value that they simply don't see or don't want to see, but also does not get encouraged by the people around them. So that also says something. And I understand, yeah, if you live all your life in the same area, you know, everybody's considered your friends. Yeah, they will visit you maybe when you're dead and buried. The thing is, I have seen this many times. The moment I talked about this before, you know, the guy, he was just in the coffin 6 feet under, and people start dividing his stuff. So how real is real? Well, my vlogs are real. I speak real, and I don't have now yeah, I do have some sort of limits, especially on YouTube. I cannot go all the way all in, but you know what, at one point maybe I will. You know, we go for full cancellation. No, I'm not trying to jinx anything. Hey, wait. So I try to keep it as real as possible. Just speak from the heart, think with my mind, and just say it. Just say it, spray it. Just keep on saying it. Just be careful who you let into your circle, and get rid of the rotten apples. I got rid of one also a couple of months ago. The thing is, and I did a test yesterday, and this test reveals if somebody is really sorry or simply not. And I'm gonna keep that up for later. Ciao for now. I have